Hey there, party people! Hey, welcome to. Wait, how are we gonna start? Oh, hey, sisters!
Hey, sisters!
Hey, sister! Wait, isn't that how we started the last one?
Is it?
Actually, now that I think about that, I think we started the last one like that.
No, we didn't.
Hey, sisters! We're James
Hey,
Charles. What's your
sisters.
Snapchat?
What's your Snapchat?
What's your Snapchat?
DM me below.
DM me on TikTok if you're 16 or under. James Charles. I'm back on YouTube, guys. Sorry for being gone, baby. Hey, sisters!
Hey, sisters! I hate
sisters.
rumors.
Don't spread them. Just spread your legs. If you're under the age.
They're not victims. They're not victims.
And fuck James Charles. Like how? Okay, I'm sorry. We just need to like talk about this for a quick second.
Okay,
Like,
what?
how is this motherfucker gonna come back and be like, oh, I already admitted to all of the people like me messaging them and blah blah. Now I'm taking it back. I didn't do it. Like he really deleted his old video of him like going like, oh yeah, I'm taking responsibility. Now he's like, hey sisters, I'm done taking responsibility.
I'm so done with the rumors, sisters.
Like what are you talking about? You admitted that they weren't rumors. You were like, yeah.
There's someone making false accusations.
He literally said, yeah, they're mostly true. Mostly. And then he said, well, mostly not. Mostly not. Never mind. Like, bro, you know what, James? Bye, sister.
Bye, sister.
Bye, sister.
And remember the fucking H3? When he pretended he had James Charles on the phone?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, why was that the best thing? I was dying.
Maybe we should give James Charles a call. Do we have him on the line?
I think we do. I think so.
But anyway, let's get Eli Roth on the line. Let's keep talking about this guy.
All right.
Mr. Eli Roth. So last week we talked about, what did we talk about last? To Green Inferno.
Yes.
Green Inferno. And now we are back with some more Eli Roth. Thanks to Bethany one more time. She had a few different picks. But she had two different Eli Roth ones for 2 weeks. So it was like, you know what? Let's just make this a little Eli Roth double-decker.
Yes.
A little double. So we're doing Hostel from 2004, written and directed by Eli Roth, produced by Scott Spiegel, good friend of Sam Raimi and writer or co-writer of Evil Dead, that is, and Quentin Tarantino. And that was Evil Dead 2, actually. I don't think he wrote Evil Dead 1 with him. I think it was just 2. But Scott Spiegel's fucking awesome, dude. I love that guy. Did you ever see Intruder?
No.
The fucking grocery store movie?
No.
It's that one that has the tagline that's like, starring Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell. And like, it is starring Sam Raimi, kind of. But Bruce Campbell's in it for like 2 seconds.
What the fuck?
But it has him like all over the cover because it's like, well, Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, gotta go on it. The box office was between 4.5 and 4.8 million, and it made 82 million at the box office.
Wow.
Which actually, for a second, I thought when I was looking it up, it said like 4.5 and then 4.8. I was like, did this only make like nothing at the box office?
Yeah.
And I was really disappointed. I was like, that kind of sounds weird, but it makes sense that it didn't because I mean, it was executive produced by Quentin. So, I mean, and another Eli Roth. I feel like, how many? No, Cabin Fever was only a few years before this. Was this one of his first movies after Cabin Fever? Do you know what he did in between?
No.
Let's check it out real quick. So, okay, Mr. Eli Roth. These are his producing credits. He produced Lake Mead. Yeah, that's a good old Mead. Okay, so let's see. He did Cabin Fever, a short. Yeah, this was right after Cabin Fever.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
He did something called The Rotten Fruit, which was some short, and then he did Hostel, and then he did the segment in Grindhouse, Thanksgiving, right after.
He was on fire.
Wow.
He was quite on fire.
Wow, and then Hostel 2 came after that, too, and then Green Inferno. And then Knock Knock. Wow, he really hasn't done as much as I thought he did. Like, I knew he hadn't done, like, a ton of stuff, but, I mean, he's definitely done a ton of stuff, but I mean, like, directing-wise.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, yeah, this was right after Cabin Fever. I guess I'm going to have to add, like, Knock Knock and, like, Hostel 2 to the list pretty soon and just, like, finish off all of Eli Roth's shit.
I never watched Knock Knock.
Yeah, I've never seen it. Not a day in my life, partner.
No,
not a day in my life.
Not here.
So anyway, we're talking about Hostel, and the setup for Hostel is this. A few tourists head to what is called a hostel, which is like a cheap hotel that usually has like a shared bathroom. Sometimes it's a shared room completely.
Cheaper alternative if you want to travel.
Yeah, pretty much just a shitty hotel is like the transition. A shitty shared hotel. And then violence ensues. And that's basically Hostel. Like, it's a pretty straight, cut and dry story. It's pretty much, I mean, I think a lot of people are iffy on this movie. Like, they either really like it or really don't like it. And it really is because it is
I think all
torture
the
porn.
fucking sex.
There's a lot of sex, and I will say this one gave me a run for my money on the boob count.
Oh yeah.
This one,
I think I wrote that in my notes. Like I cannot keep count of all these boobs. There's a million.
I think I got. I'm pretty confident.
Bullshit.
I'm confident that
No,
I got it 100% right.
Really?
I was paying attention to those titties, boy.
Even in the spa.
Yeah, the spa I paused and like rewound a little bit, but I got them all for sure. I think there was like 2 or 3 pairs like when they're going in, and then 2 pairs when they actually go into the actual spa room because there's 2 chicks in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty easy to keep count because they weren't like just sprawled out anywhere. You could tell which boobs were where for the most part.
I couldn't think.
Yeah, it was
I
going
just saw
pretty good.
boobs and I was like, what?
There's a lot of boobs in this. There's a lot of boobs in this, way into the double digits.
Way.
So, I mean, we start out, we got 3 people. There's Paxton, there's Josh, and there's Ollie. 2 of them are American dudes. One of them, is he Irish or something? What
Ollie's
was he?
from
Was he from Ireland? Iceland?
Wait,
Oh,
is
was
it
it Iceland?
Iceland
Maybe
or
it was
Ireland?
Iceland. I don't fucking know.
One
He's
or
from
the
somewhere.
other. Yeah, he's not American.
Oh, wasn't it Iceland because they were mad about like the way he was portrayed as like a sex fiend and blah blah blah? Wasn't it him they were mad about?
That's a really good question because on the thing it said Iceland was pissed, right?
Yeah.
But I remember like just Europe was pissed. So I don't know. That's a good question.
Isn't Iceland in Europe?
No, I know that.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, like, I don't know if they were mad specifically at his character
Okay.
or like the whole entire movie.
Okay,
you know what
okay.
I mean?
I think it was his character. I think it was like the portrayal of him being like just like a drunk like sex fiend and just like, hey guys, let's go fucking plow, dude.
You know, chicks.
You know what it is, and speaking of that, that's a good segue because they talk about like it was like, hey dude, let's go rail some girls, and then they head over to a nightclub.
Sexy.
Hell yeah, dude, freaking sex, dude. Then they argue about whether or not a fanny pack is cool, and then we see one of the dudes actually railing a chick in the bathroom.
No fanny packs.
Are we gonna have that discussion? No fanny packs?
I love fanny packs. I said no fanny pack slander.
Oh, okay.
I love them.
I was gonna say I was like I don't really mind fanny packs. Like
I
okay,
fucking love them.
albeit yeah, they're nerdy. I can't deny that.
I wear them all the time.
They're nerdy, but like I don't mind. I think they're convenient, especially if you're at like maybe you're at a festival or doing some shit. Like
yeah, like if I don't want to carry a whole fucking bag and I'm in comfy clothes and I need to go somewhere really quick and I just need what's important, I'm gonna fucking take a fanny pack.
Yeah, exactly. I actually don't own one, but I need to. I want like a fancy fanny. I'm gonna get like a Louis Vuitton like fanny pack or something. Yeah, if I'm gonna go with a fanny pack, you gotta do it. You gotta do it up. Gotta get bougie with it, baby. So yeah, this guy's fucking a chick in the bathroom, and that brings us to our first set of
taking
boobs.
a picture.
Oh yeah, because he sends a he sends a picture to his buds, and they're just like,
look
oh
what I'm
yeah,
doing.
dude. And that was Ollie, right? Pretty sure that was Ollie.
It was Ollie.
Yeah, he was plowing first night. He was getting it. So they're not there for too long at the nightclub, that is, because one of the dudes spills a drink on like some dude's girlfriend, and they get into a fight, and he calls them a gay slur, and then they get kicked out of the bar or the club place.
Fucking Americans, get out of here, Americans!
Get out of here! And also, I think it's always hilarious when like Americans go to this felt very Bad Girls Club, like when they're in Mexico.
Oh,
you're in like a foreign place, you're a tourist, you're being an asshole, and then you're pissed at the people that are kicking you out. It's like, bro, I mean, you probably shouldn't be here anyway, being a dick.
They
it's
kicked
kind of
them
on
out, rightfully so, because they were being the fucking worst.
I'm never on the side of tourists when they're getting kicked out of like someone else's place. I'm like, you know what? Respect their fucking rules, dude. Like then maybe you wouldn't get kicked out.
I don't know why they get this idea when they go somewhere outside of where they're from that like they could just act out.
It's really just because Americans are dicks and they're just like they don't give a fuck about anyone else. Like that's all it is. So next up, time for a plow house. But nothing happens. Josh doesn't want to plow.
No, he doesn't want to plow. He's too sad.
They went to a nice plow house though, man. It looked pretty fancy.
It looked gorgeous.
Would you plow there?
No.
No?
No.
What's the reasoning? Why not?
I wouldn't do that. But I'd work there.
Okay, you'd work there. I feel like I wouldn't want to. I
wouldn't want to work there.
I'd rather if I was gonna do anything with that place, I'd plow there once and then never come back. I wouldn't work there. I definitely wouldn't want to keep going back.
No, fuck no. I was just playing. I just really like. Obviously, realistically, that's a terrible place to work at, but I like how each room was like its own little thing.
You can keep talking. I'm just gonna plug this little cable in over here. Yeah, I'm in your way.
I can't speak.
Okay, go for it.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't want anyone to work there. Period. But That was such a gorgeous fucking, the way the rooms were
crazy,
set
dude.
up. All the girls were like so pretty, high end fucking looking girls.
I don't know why, but I have a deep. This is so skeevy,
What?
but I have a deep appreciation for like whorehouses that are like really fan. Like you know, like you
Yeah.
got that one in like Harold and Kumar. There's just like
Yeah.
that huge mansion. They're all fancy as
Yes.
hell. They have like these big old
Yeah, like
staircases. I'm like,
realistically, like no, this is terrible. But in a,
you know what? Maybe I think where they were though, because weren't they in like Amsterdam or something that first day?
yes.
Yeah, they were in Amsterdam. So I mean, I think they really do have pretty high class, like you know, little prostitution houses or sex worker house, whatever you want to call it. Don't fucking cancel me. I don't know which word.
I
is
know.
right.
Don't cancel us. We don't fucking know.
I feel like all the time people are like, oh, like okay. I feel like in some instances people are like, okay, hooker's okay if you use it like this or this, but not like this or this. And then sometimes they're like, prostitute is not okay at all. Hooker isn't okay at all. And then sometimes like prostitute's okay, and they're like, no, sex worker. I'm just like. Dude, like I don't know. I hear them all as the same. None of them sound like slander things to me. Like when I say like hooker or prostitute or like
Hooker, I could
whorehouse,
see.
hooker I could see a little bit.
Whorehouse, I could
Yeah.
see if people were
See,
pissed
like-
about that. But
Hooker, I feel like is a good representation of like in like old movies and shit, because it was just like that's just you have movies like Frankenhooker and stuff like that
Yeah.
where it's just like it's more of a joke. Like I don't think. I've never really met anyone that's like looked at a sex worker like
And
in real
actually
life and
call
been like,
them a
"Oh, you fucking hooker."
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
never really hear that as a slur.
and
I
you
can
know
see,
you wouldn't actually call
Yeah,
someone
exactly.
a fucking hooker.
I could tell how like that could be like a slur if someone said to someone, but I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that's literally just something that I don't hear. Like it's usually just like a funny joking thing.
Yeah.
It's usually referring to people that aren't even actually that, or they're just like calling themselves like hookers, like, oh, there's a
Yeah.
hooker house or some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
whatever.
more like a fun word.
Sex workers, I guess.
Why do problematic words have to be fun?
That's the thing that sucks.
sucks
And
that-
you know what? It sucks when you don't.
It sucks that shitty people ruin the fun words for people that just use them for fun.
I know. Well, there's some words that are actually like really terrible.
No, yeah, for
to
sure.
use, but not. I don't know. I don't
Well,
wanna
I
get
got an
cancelled.
argument with actually a pretty good friend like a few years back because she posted something that was like, all right, so we've moved past like retarded and like fag and like, you know, this and that. So like we should move past saying the word stupid because stupid applies to people that have like a mental illness or something like that. Yeah, and that's why like all of that stuff like, you know, just makes me mad when it's like we're so specific about like each little word because it does like obviously most people aren't accentuating to that point, but there really are people that truly believe that like it is that serious, and I'm like, bro, like that is
It's-
just a descriptor
You
word.
know
like,
what? I'm all for us learning all together and like treating each other better, respecting each other more, whatever. I'm all for that. But once it gets to that point where it's like you can't even use the word stupid
Yeah.
or you have to be like super considerate when it's something that's so not serious, like
Yeah.
that's a little too much.
But it's that weird conversation where it's like the line is different for everyone. It's like, you know, what
Yeah.
the line for us is like, oh, you know, don't go like hatefully calling like a gay person a faggot or whatever
Yeah,
and whatnot.
yeah.
Like even just saying that, you know, it just feels like weird. It's like if you walked up to someone and said that's like, oh, what the fuck? Like that's harsh. But
that's
like,
fucked up.
you know, you go up to someone and say stupid and it's not. But then like other people, for some reason, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I feel like that's a mental illness. Thinking that that's that serious, like,
Yeah,
like
there's something
it's-
kind of weird if it's
It's-
I don't know. I
it's a
don't even have
strange
the
one.
words. Yeah, I don't have the words.
It's definitely a strange one. Like it's no hate to you, you know, if you feel offended by that, but I just think like
No, because I could
just-
see how someone wouldn't like that word or to be called stupid or use the word stupid to someone, but towards anyone. But it's one of those things where it's like you're making a you problem, a everybody
Yeah,
problem,
yeah.
and that's when I think it's irritating.
yeah,
Like,
100%.
Reminds me of fucking Demi Lovato. Like, don't fucking
Don't
put,
when she went into that bakery and she was
Yeah.
like, you guys have things that say fat free and whatnot, and that's making
Yeah.
me feel like I have to eat fat free stuff, and that's body shaming me.
Yeah,
That's why it
the
annoys
vibe
me.
stupid is giving me.
Yes.
Other words that are like actually hurtful, I could get it. You
Yeah.
know, I will learn, you know, to not why it's wrong. But something like, oh, you're dumb, you're stupid, you're words that you
obviously-
could use for anything.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
and-
that's kind of weird.
And obviously, if you're doing that in a hateful way and you're like, oh, you're fucking stupid, blah, 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 like, of course that's shitty. Like, it's just, you don't even have to, like, explain that to anyone.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous that it's
Name
like,
calling
oh.
period is fucked up.
Yeah, but, like, when you're not doing it to people, it's not bad to say fucking stupid. Like,
oh, that's stupid.
yeah, like,
People are gonna.
that was literally the whole point of the post. It was like, don't say stupid because it harms people. And I'm like, all right, dude, you can harm these nuts. Whatever.
That's
So,
interesting.
anyway, back to Hostel. They get back to the hostel.
This
we
is a
doing a movie?
podcast? Wait, what? Where are
Oh
we?
shit! So they get greeted by a few foreigners that are high out of their minds, getting their plow in. So they start talking to some guy named Alex, and he's like, "All right, dudes, look, let me just show you some pictures of some hot chicks. You like these boobs?
You like these girls right here?
You ever seen boobs before, bud?
You ever seen girls like this?
These are some titties, man." So he shows them the naked chicks,
Top
and then he's
tier.
like, "All right, dude, you can find gangs of hot chicks and hostels in Slovakia, and they will knob on any American knob they see as long as they hear our god awful accents first." So if you got that going,
You could do anything.
you're good,
You could
baby.
do
You're in the
anything.
clear. So now the dudes get on a train, and we watch some weird fuck eat salad with his hands in like a very ASMR fashion. He's just like, "No, I like it better with my fingers."
He made that turkey look bomb. I'm just kidding. He
kinda
made that
did.
turkey look no.
He kind of did
You
though. He
think
was kind
so?
of thick.
Oh, that was.
He kind of looked like the Human Centipede 2 guy. He was
He
looking. He was looking
did.
right. That boy.
He made. Okay, no. You know what? The beginning of that conversation when he got there and they were treating him like shit. I don't think he was doing anything wrong in the beginning. Like he wasn't being
No.
weird, right? And
no,
then they were
except
just
for
like,
the salad
"Fuck
thing,
you."
but it wasn't like a dick thing. It was just him being a weirdo.
But even the salad, like if he's eating it with his hands, what's it to you?
Yeah, who
If
fucking
he's-
cares?
Yeah, you know.
I just think he needed some dressing.
Yeah, you
It's
know.
just weird that he was eating dry salad leaves.
But I thought the way they were treating him at first was like, what the fuck? Why are you being so mean towards this old man? But then he groped the guy's leg, and I was like, okay,
Yeah, they're just
okay,
sitting there, and
he's a
like,
weirdo.
he's like, "What's your nature?" And then like grabs him right next to his dick, and he's like, "All right, dude, all right, can we just not do this right now?" And then he's like, he literally stands up, he's like, I'm gonna go over there." He's like, "I'm gonna leave."
So
He got up so
nervous.
fast, dude.
Yeah, he was like, oh fuck,
And
not
honestly,
again.
You know what's so weird though? I'm still thinking about that. Like when you finish the movie, why was he doing that?
Doing what?
Like why was he like going to grope him?
Maybe to see how far he could go with someone.
I don't fucking know. Is that why?
I mean, he's just a weirdo.
I mean, I know he's a weirdo. I mean, we definitely know that, but I was just like, I don't know. It just seemed a little out of his character, you know?
It was weird, but I'm jumping over when he like sees him again.
Yeah,
And he's like, oh no, scratch that. That didn't make sense.
Scratch it.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, well, he did say how, oh, when I was your age, you know, I felt the same way, thought the same. But then that goes about the girls, not about like him being gay or something, you know? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Never mind. So that's why I scratched that. It didn't even make sense. But that had nothing to do with his character. Like they never brought up him being a creep like that.
No, I mean he's a creep in like other ways
Yeah,
for
in
sure,
other
but like
ways.
in murdery ways.
Yeah.
What was his story again? Like his like wife died or like his girl died or something. Why was he doing everything?
I
Did
didn't
he
know
explain? Maybe he didn't explain it.
No, I just knew.
I could have sworn the first time because I've seen this movie a few times before this.
Yeah.
I think this is like my third I think this is my third watch of it. And I could have sworn that he like explained some like weird thing like, oh well this that. But now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think he did because he's
No,
not
'cause I
around too
know-
much. He
I
kind
know-
of passes it on to the other guys, right?
He's mentioned how like he was in business school. He fucking hated it.
Okay, yeah.
And he has a daughter and blah blah blah. But I think he still has a wife and a daughter. I don't think his wife died, but I could be wrong.
I think you're right, actually.
Yeah, I think he has a family and everything.
Okay.
But I'm not sure about all that other stuff.
Yeah, so he's just a fucking psycho, I guess.
He's just a freak.
Okay, well, the boys get to their destination and they're greeted by their new female roommates, and they all immediately head over to the spa. It's just like filled with naked women, just filled to the top.
Oh yeah.
And the first thing our already foreign tourist guy does is shake his dick in front of some chicks. He's like, "Hey guys, look at this."
Ooh,
Look
I
at that.
shaved my dick. Look
Yeah, oh
at
yeah,
it.
that's what it is. He's like, "Look at it. I'm glad I shaved my balls today." And next up, ecstasy club time.
Oh yeah.
But then Josh starts talking to a girl and he gets like freaked out and then he leaves. He's like, all right, I can't do it. I have an ex-girlfriend I'm sad about. And then he runs into the street kids, which are actual street kids that Eli Roth hired.
Yeah, we found out.
I don't know if
real
they were
street
actually
kids.
robbing people for bubble gum.
Probably not.
I don't think they were doing that, but he was like, "Hey, street kids, you want to go be street kids in a movie?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, sure, let's do it." And yeah, the guy who tried to grope him earlier that we were just talking about, he saves him because he like throws some candy over. Because there's this whole thing in this movie where these street kids are addicted to candy, and if you give them a bag of candy, they will do anything for you.
Yeah, they'll just leave you the fuck alone.
Not even just leave you alone; they'll attack people for you too. They'll murder people for you.
Apparently.
They will beat people to death with fucking bats and rocks for you if you give them a bag of candy. Like, these are some fucking thug-ass kids.
It has to be bubble gum, though.
So now him and the old guy make up. He's like, "Hey, dude, sorry for, like, you know, freaking out on you earlier when you touched my dick, but, you know, I'll buy you a beer." And he's like, "You want to touch my dick again? I'll touch your dick this time." Because he actually goes to him. He gropes his leg, and then he's just like, it's a zoom in, and they both look at each other. And the guy, actually, this time the old guy looks mad. He's like, "What are you doing?"
How weird was that? So the way it went was
like, why would you, like, if you were upset about it, why would you be like, "Let me do it again"?
He was trying to like relate. I don't know.
Relate to him, like, "Oh, let me touch your dick."
Because he was like, literally, "I'm so sorry. You know, I apologize for being upset."
How's your dick feel?
Like, slowly gropes him. Doesn't know if he should, but he's like trying to relate to him.
He's like, "Should I grab your dick?" He's like, "You grabbed my dick earlier,
yeah,
so I
he's
think
like
if I grab your dick,
to
we're friends." Could you imagine trying to relate to someone like that? Like, well, they tried to molest me, so I'll molest them
I'm gonna
back.
touch you to let you know that what you did to me, I forgive you. So
we're homies now.
This is what we do. This is what you do, right? So I'm just.
Well, that's how you even the playing field. You touch
so
my dick,
weird.
I touch yours, and now we're like, we're good. Now
That
it's like you
shit
basically
was
no
so
homo
funny.
it. You know, it's like it's all like null and void now.
Like, I'm not offended anymore here.
It's the implication of no homo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he doesn't hang with him for too long because he heads back to the hostel to get laid by, you know, some chick. She comes back up. She's like, "He's with me. Let's go fuck." And then they go back. You know, she has plump breasts. That's cool. And they wake up in the morning and all the girls are gone. And then so is their friend Ollie. And they're just like, they're not really too worried at first.
No, not at first, because he did leave the room
Yeah.
to go hook up with the other girl.
Yeah.
So when he wasn't there, they're just kind of like, okay, whatever. He's still doing his thing.
But then they do start to freak out because they go to the front desk and they're like, "Oh, Ollie checked out," which also, like, I know that is weird, but I don't know. I just think of, like, my group of friends, and I could totally imagine, like, going out with some friends somewhere and then one of them just being like, "All right, I'm over this," and just checking out and leaving and not saying anything. Like, I have a few friends that would definitely do that. Yeah.
I don't think I haven't. I think the most they would do is they would check out on their own.
Yeah,
but I think I would for sure get like a, "Hey, heads
A
up."
text or something.
Mm-hmm.
My friend AJ 100% would do that. If
Yeah.
I went out with him somewhere, even if we're in a different state, even if he drove with me, if all of a sudden I woke up in the morning and he was just gone and I went to the front desk and they were like, "He checked out," I probably wouldn't even text him, honestly. Like, I might, but if he didn't answer, like, okay, I might not text him, but if I did text him, I wouldn't freak out if he didn't text me back, because I'd literally just be like, even if we were like across the state, I'd be like, or across the country,
Yeah.
I would be like, "All right, AJ got bored. He took an Uber over to the airport. He literally just walked up and said, 'Can I get a flight back to California?' And he
over
left."
it, bye.
And 100%, he probably wouldn't even text me back that day or the next day or anything. He'd call me back like 2 weeks later. He'd be like, "Hey, Caleb, how's it going?" And I'd
Hey,
be
what's
like,
up?
"Hey, what's up, dude? What are you doing? Hey, what happened to you a few weeks ago?" He'd be like, I don't know. I got bored and I just left." I'd be like, "Oh, why didn't you text me or anything?" He'd be like, "I don't know. I just didn't feel like it. I figured I'd talk to you
Yeah.
later." Like, I'm not kidding. I've literally had those conversations with him
That's
so many times. Like, we'll be in
crazy.
different cities, like just somewhere far as fuck away where it doesn't seem like someone would just leave.
What?
And he'd just leave.
I'd
He
be
wouldn't say
so
anything.
worried if a friend did that. But in this case,
And then also, the second person that would do that I know is me.
oh yeah,
I would
100%.
Yeah, like could you attest to that? Like,
No,
I would
yeah.
definitely do that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely the type of person that if I get bored or annoyed, I'll just leave and I won't tell anyone.
No, yeah.
Like, I've
You
done
definitely would.
it. I've done it many times. I'll do it again.
The only thing is, I know if like you left, I would actually be like, "Hey, did you leave?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, okay."
Yeah,
And that's
I'd
it.
most likely, like, that's the only difference with me. Like, I'd text you back most likely, unless I
Yeah.
fell asleep. Like, the latest that, like, I'd text you back the next day at the
Yeah,
latest or something.
yeah.
But like, it's very possible that I would leave same night and not say anything.
Yeah, and another
Actually,
reason.
To be honest, I actually was at someone's house last night and this morning, and yeah, I just fucking
dip.
I got bored and I got up and I
No,
left.
I believe. And then sometimes, like, when I would be with you, when you would be because you would have to pick me up and stuff, and we'd go somewhere, and like we just leave. We'd be like, "Do you want to go?" "Yeah, I don't want to be here."
Oh
"All
yeah,
right, bye." And that's how I know
just...
100%. Like, if you were even by yourself, like,
Yeah, because if I'm with someone too, like, and I have to like take them, I'll literally just look at them and like I'm not a person that's gonna be like, maybe I should stay because of them. I'll literally just look at them and be like, hey, I want to go, let's go.
And I'd be like, you read my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Yes. And we wouldn't even say bye.
Yeah.
Unless someone was like right there.
Exactly. I try to avoid saying bye at all costs.
I hate saying bye.
Especially when it's
can
a
we
big
normalize
group, dude?
not saying bye?
Dude, literally, especially if it's a big group, like, can we normalize just like texting you later? Like, unless I haven't seen you in like a year or some shit. Like, if I've seen you in the past like 3 months, I'm not saying bye to you, honestly. I'm not. Unless there's only like 3 people in the room. If there's more than 4 people in a room, I don't want to say bye.
I fucking hate saying bye anywhere.
Yeah.
Whether it's with friends, family. I even hate saying hi to
I
everyone.
feel you, dude.
I hate it. Like, why? Why is that? I get it. You have to be nice, but...
I hate when someone walks up to me like, oh, why didn't you say hi to me? I'm like, I looked at you.
Like, you saw me.
I'm like,
we
you
made
saw
eye
me.
contact
Yeah,
for like
you
a
saw
second.
me. I saw you. You can say something whenever you want. I'm not saying don't say anything to me. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Whatever, though. Whatever. Okay, we should probably move on.
Go on.
So, yeah, all of them are gone. The girls, Ollie, blah, blah, blah. Now they start walking around, and they find a chick with a picture of Ollie. It's this Japanese chick. And they're just like, hey, where'd you get that? She can't, there's a language barrier, so she's just kind of like, I don't fucking know. I have this picture. Why are you laughing?
Because, do you remember what the picture looked like?
No. I just remember it, like, just the general picture. It was just her and him, right?
It looks like the worst Photoshop.
I know it was a bad...
it was so funny. It looked like those, have you ever gone to, like, Chuck E. Cheese?
I worked there for a year.
Do you remember, like, those pictures you would take and it would be, like, the background of something?
Oh, just like a random like backdrop or some shit, like the rainforest or something.
Yeah, and it's like you could put whichever one you want, and it's just your head like from here up, and it's like the background. That's exactly what that fucking picture looked like.
You know, you're not wrong. I think I'm kind of remembering that now.
Like, what happened was not funny. You know, her running and crying about her friend is not funny. It's just as soon as she's like,
she lose a friend too? Oh, is that why she was alone?
No, the Japanese girl was she overheard how like their friend is missing or something.
Why was she there? Was she just on vacation?
She was on vacation too.
She was on like a solo vacation.
Yeah, they would cross paths. No, she was with that girl, the missing girl.
Which missing? Who was the missing?
The Japanese girl. There was two Japanese girls.
Oh, there was.
Yeah.
Oh.
They went together, and then when Ollie was missing, the friend.
Did we see her friend die?
Yes.
Did we just see her body? Did we see her die too? Was she the one who got her toe chopped off?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I remember that now.
Yeah,
we didn't see her die though, did we? We just saw the toe get chopped off, right? Oh, we saw the body?
Yeah, I think so.
I think I didn't count that as a kill because I was like, I don't know, I didn't see it. And I couldn't remember which girl she was. Was she one of the bodies on the cart or something? So she got her toe chopped off, and then later we just see her body, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. I guess I'd count that as a kill then, I guess.
No, it is a kill.
Yeah, so that's a kill for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't count that at first.
Oh, well, yeah, so that's why she ran up to them, and she was like, oh, like my friend, you know?
Yeah.
And then she showed them the picture, but, you know, it was so serious. It was so scary, like, what the fuck is happening, you know? But then it's like... flip phone picture of them together, and it's like the worst fucking picture I've ever seen.
And it was her and Ollie, right?
Yeah.
How did she get that in terms of the movie?
What do you mean?
Did she just meet him? Like, she just walk by and see him or something?
No, because they would cross paths all the time. Like, they were in the same hostel. They, like, if they would go out, they would be out too.
So she just saw him randomly and took a picture with him?
No,
that's what we're supposed to believe?
the friend sent them.
The friend sent the picture of her and Ollie.
Yeah, saying, "Oh, I'm fine.
That
we left
makes
together."
no sense.
Yeah.
So, because they got a picture of Ollie solo, and he was like, "I'm fine," and then she got a picture of her and Ollie together.
Yeah, and in that background, so
that's
that
how
it looks like they're out together.
I think I looked away for a quick second and like missed that part and forgot it. So I was kind of like, "How does this all like go together?"
Because I think they mentioned too, like, she was like, "Is that your friend?" And then they're like, "Yeah, that's Ollie. Like, what is he doing with her? Like, not to be." The guy says some racist shit. He's like,
wait, does he? I don't even remember that.
He's like, oh, like, why would he run off with her? He doesn't even like Asian girls. No offense. Like, bitch.
I guess maybe his preference. No, it sounds like a... Dude, I love Asian girls. I don't know what he's talking about. Asian girls are so beautiful.
And you know what? There's always that weird fucking... Okay, like those weird guys that are so stupid. I'm just kidding. But you know how there's like guys that completely fetishize Asian women?
Yeah, yeah.
There's like those guys, like complete fucking fetish. But then there's like guys that are like, oh,
They're
Asian
fucking
women,
gross, blah blah blah, and
ugh.
they always say like, I'm gonna say some problematic ass shit, but it's not me saying it. I'm just saying like people say it, so I was just like,
Yeah.
I've literally heard this since middle school, and it's so fucked up. I was just like, oh fuck Asian girls, they smell like fish and shit.
That's
I'm
so
like, dude, you're like a
fucked.
piece of shit. I'm like,
Oh
you're a
my
real piece of
God.
shit, dude.
And I don't know why. Because, like I said, it's either those guys that all they talk about, oh, I love Asian women so much, oh my
Yeah.
God, da, da. Or the ones that really don't like Asian women for whatever reason. They're like, oh, yeah, I fucking hate Asian women.
And they want to say it's not on some racist shit.
Yeah,
I'm like,
and
nah,
then
bro, you're racist.
that's all they want to talk about.
Yeah.
And
How
you're
much they hate Asian
yeah,
women. I'm
and
like,
you're
oh,
like,
okay, so you
dude.
hate women and Asian people, so you're racist and
Yeah,
misogynistic.
like,
All right, cool, let's move on.
First of all, don't fucking talk to me. Get away from me.
Yeah,
I
let's
don't
not,
want to hear
bitch.
about how much you hate whatever. Anyways.
So let's talk about a creepy little dungeon. You want to talk about a creepy little dungeon? Well, they end up in a creepy little dungeon because they follow some guy that looks like Ollie because he's wearing his sweater. So they're like, Ollie! And they start following him around. And they run into or they run the guy, wearing the sweater. And then he basically is just like, this is my sweater. You can
It's
kindly fuck
mine."
off.
What does he say? I don't know. I don't remember.
He literally just says, like,
Is
this
that
is
what he
mine.
said?
Go away. He's like, he just sternly looks at
No,
them
what
like
does
a
he
father.
say? He's like, where did you get it?
And I think he just
Did you
says,
catch
this.
that?
And he just says, this is mine, right?
No, he
or
says
you-
something funny. He's like,
Does he?
where did you get this sweater? He's like, I bought it. But he doesn't even say where.
It's like, I bought it at Ross Dress for Less. It's mine.
You know what's something really weird about this movie?
Oh, I thought you were saying about Ross Dress for Less.
That too.
Okay.
Just kidding. I don't know if I am remembering it wrong or like getting it mixed up with another movie, but I remember before I watched it this time, because I've seen this movie a lot of times.
Yeah.
I remember every other time when I watched the scene and they would ask him like, where did you get this jacket? I specifically remember him being like, oh, like some guy sold it to me at a blah, blah, blah.
Maria, we're 100% mixing that up with a different movie because
Which
I
one?
completely remember that too. That is a movie I know for a fact. That's a movie I've covered on Horror Soup too because I remember that scene. I remember someone like losing some fucking sweater and he's like, yeah, I fucking bought it off of this guy or whatever.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Why?
I thought the same thing because when I was watching it and he said that, I was like, I remembered it completely different.
Yeah,
I was like, this
yeah.
was wrong. Yeah, I don't. if someone knows what movie that is,
Please
please tell
tell
me. Yeah,
us.
because I know exactly what you're talking about, dude. I thought the same thing. That's crazy.
Yeah, because I was writing my notes. I'm like, wait, this is not how the conversation went the other times. But then, your brain makes up memories and
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
mixes things up. So,
I confused a few things in this. Like that
Oh,
thing I
yeah.
told you about earlier or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I already forgot what I was talking about, but I confused some other shit with something else.
yeah, if you guys know, can you please tell us? Because that's going to fucking bother me.
So anyway, after they leave, they get a picture from Ollie that says, I go home. But then it zooms out. And it's so funny, too, because it's like, was it text on the picture?
Yeah.
That's
it
so
was.
weird. And like on flip phone technology, like how did he get he was memeing basically, dude.
Yeah. I go home.
That's actually a good meme.
Can we like find that picture
And just start
post
using
it?
that?
Yes.
I go home.
I'm going to find it. I go home.
Sorry, I had to burp. So anyway,
Ugh.
gross. So it zooms out and we see that Ollie's head has actually been chopped off and someone sent them a picture. And then that's when the chick's toe gets snipped off in the dungeon. No more toe.
Can I mention something that has nothing to do with the movie?
Yes.
There's this, well, it does kind of have to do with it, but there was this like missing girl or whatever there's a missing girl, and like the guy that kidnapped her was like, oh, I have her, give me this amount of money and blah 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 blah, and he took a picture of her to show, because they wanted proof that she was still alive, but like,
She was already dead.
yeah, in the picture.
I know. What was the name of that case? I know which one you're talking about. I don't remember the name of it, but
I don't remember either.
this is just the
but
episode
he
of
had
I Don't
like a
Remember
whole ass
Things.
family, and he just had her
Yep.
in the
Yep. I remember that completely.
Yeah, it reminded me of that. I was like, dang.
This is the episode with no references. This is the episode with like just
Honestly,
very
right?
like, well, it's
if you know, you know.
it's something.
Just kidding.
So now they get over Ollie leaving, and then Paxton tells Josh to chill out, and then he convinces Josh to head over to the club with the girls. So Josh chills for a little bit, but then he's like, all right, I'm gonna bitch out. I'm gonna go back to the room. And then we see him go back, and then let's just say it looks a little sketchy.
Oh yeah, he's completely fucking fucked up.
Well, let's call it what it is.
Yeah,
You know what it is, right?
he was What is that called?
He was somethinged. You know, recent times, just got out of jail.
Oh, I didn't know you were gonna use
He
that.
was Cosby.
I was gonna say Bill Cosby.
Yeah. Yeah. So he got it bad. He's down bad.
Yeah, couldn't even walk. I don't know how he made it home.
Well, Paxton at the club is also getting actively Cosby'd and also locked in a room, but which also seemed weird. I thought that they were locking him in a room, but he just happens to get locked in a random room. It has nothing to do with the plot.
Okay, no. I feel like it does do something because
it helps the other guy, like, or Josh, get kidnapped or whatever.
The way I saw it was like they were both gonna get kidnapped that same day, but luckily for what's his name, Paxton?
Yes.
Luckily for Paxton, when he was going to look for the restroom, he got locked in that room accidentally, so that's why they didn't get him.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I think.
I figured it was either that, and that makes more sense because, I mean, the guy that got him out obviously didn't know he was in there and was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that makes more sense. I thought like maybe it was like someone in cahoots like locking him in so they could get Josh out of the way, but it would make more sense they took them both anyway, so it doesn't really make sense.
I think that was a plan, but, he ended up getting saved.
Yeah, so he passes out, and then we fade over to Josh, who's screaming and crying in the little dungeon because the guy wearing the apron, the old guy from earlier that groped him, is drilling into the flesh of his leg. So pretty understandable.
That actor that they picked to be that butcher guy, I'm gonna call him butcher guy because he looked like
a butcher.
He's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, he did good.
He is terrifying.
He did good. And that drilling scene, like, I mean, the gore in this movie is good.
Hell yeah.
Eli Roth said he used like 3 times as much blood as he did in Cabin Fever. He used 150 gallons of blood on this.
Yeah.
150 gallons.
I feel bad for Josh out of all of them. Not that anyone deserved that, but I felt so bad for him because Paxton was the one who was like, come on, let's go to the club with the girls. It's our last night, blah, blah. But then Josh was like, as soon as the girls were like, oh, let's go to the club or whatever, he's like, fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, when you're watching this movie, you do think that Josh is going to be the final girl.
I thought so too.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that, which is like a good little like, twist-ish kind of thing. Like, but obviously it's been done a lot.
The weak ones never.
They don't survive. They never survive, especially the blonde one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of got to die. He looked kind of fratty, even though he was like kind of a wimp.
Yeah,
he was a wimpy guy.
Wimp.
So very shortly after, the dude reveals himself. It's the fruity little white dude that tried to plow Josh earlier in the movie. And then the next shit I really hate because Josh starts puking all over himself. Gross.
I absolutely love the vomit scenes.
Wait,
puke.
What?
I love it.
I hate it.
Because it's... You never...
Look, I like it. It makes sense because obviously, like, they're like, you're going to vomit in some shit like that. You're getting drilled into and blah, blah, blah. But I just I've told you before, I just hate vomiting in movies.
You do.
I just fucking hate it.
I just like how every other movie, they don't really do that when they're getting killed or tortured. But I like how he was like, you know what? Make them puke.
As far as the vomit goes, like, it makes sense when they did it, and it was pretty good. Especially the second one with, like, the ball gag. It's pretty fucked up, and it makes sense. But... I just fucking hate vomit. I just don't like it. It just really annoys me. It just makes me really mad immediately. And I'm like, all right, I hate my life.
You're like, great. Now I'm going to vomit.
And then after he starts puking all over himself, the dude goes behind him and he slits his Achilles heels. And then he's like, all right, you can leave. Which, if you know anything about slit ankles, you know that he can't leave very easily. It's gonna have a bad time, really. Gonna have a very bad time.
I don't know what made me have that weird fear of like that happening to me.
Oh, I've always had it. It's just because where did
it come from?
It's just the most terrifying thing that you ever see because it's just like you think about how sensitive that part is and how literally like you just can't do anything once that's gone. Like I feel like every time I see it, I legitimately feel like that's the worst pain in the world.
Yeah.
Like the worst.
Yeah.
I can't imagine anything worse than that. Like that's my worst fucking nightmare.
Yeah. I don't know what it is exactly, but I remember when I was a kid, I would avoid doing something specific just because I didn't want that to happen.
What could you?
I don't know. That's
what
why
was it?
I don't know. It's just like something that was always in the back of my mind, but I don't think it was anything dangerous. It was just something that like touched that part. Like I don't know. Putting on my shoe. Just kidding.
Was it like walking backwards in like a bank vault where there's like lasers like right where your Achilles heel is? Like what could that possibly be?
I have no idea, but I have a memory of like being a kid and I didn't like to do something because that part made me feel icky and like something was gonna cut it off and I don't know what and I can't I can't pick it out of my brain.
To this day, I cannot go within a few feet of sewers.
Ew. I don't like that. I never liked that.
They freak me the fuck out.
Why the fuck?
It stresses me out too when like I think they should be filled with bars. Like I don't like how it's just like 2 little bars. Like if they were like filled, like, because obviously it's just water going in it. So if you just put like little bars, you know, on the side too, so things can't just fall in there, it wouldn't freak me out as much. But the fact that like I could actually fit myself in there, and like also my dog can walk by there and just fall in and then just be gone, like it freaks me the fuck out. And like literally ever since seeing it when I was really young, I cannot go next to a sewer. Like I remember I used to, and I still do sometimes have nightmares just about like being next to sewers and like falling into a sewer, like something falling into a sewer and me having to go after it.
Yeah, I had a nightmare.
And there's so many things under the sewer too. I'm like, I don't know if there's mole people. I don't know if there's crab people.
Don't know.
I don't know if there are giant lizards. I don't know if there are fucking chuds. Like I don't know what's down there, man.
And like people been down there, but do you really know what's down there? No, you never fucking know. I had a reoccurring dream too, all the fucking time, that my mom was stuck in there and that I was walking and I would walk by and she's like, help. Like, what the fuck? No.
Yeah, Pennywise destroyed my my brain for a long time, and still to this day.
Yeah.
Like it destroyed spiders. Well, spiders were already fucked, but spiders, clowns, fucking like just dark things.
And what are the chances? Like, what do you mean that you can't fall in there? Like, you never know what could happen.
Yeah,
you never know.
I mean, it's an absurd thought I have, but I always just feel like I am going to be walking by a sewer and I'm randomly just going to pass out and roll into it.
I just think I'm going to trip.
It's the most absurd.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense. Like, I feel like there's absolutely no way that would ever happen to me. But there's just like that part of my mind where I'm like, it is possible.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. I don't want to fall in a sewer. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Same.
I don't want to fall in a sewer. I'm sorry. No. Just keep put more bars on sewers is what I'm saying.
Or why the fuck do people like go there, like willingly?
Because they're fucking chuds, dude.
That shit's so gross. I remember hearing like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to the sewer. Like that. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, one of my uncles told me how he used to used to get his bike and he would go down into the sewer and he would drop a tab of acid and just like ride his bike through the sewer. And I'm like, bro, that sounds like a fucking nightmare. I'm like, that just, I'm like,
the worst
and he's talking to me about it. He's like, yeah, dude, great times. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, that's a great time. That sounds like the worst possible time I could ever have. Like, nothing about that sounds fun at all.
You're like, hey, are you okay?
Yeah, like, do
you want to talk about
something?
Do
you need a hug, dude? Like, is that why you did meth for like 20 years? Like, glad he's doing like better now. And like, but I'm like, fuck, dude, like,
damn.
It doesn't sound fun. But anyway, Paxton wakes up and he heads to the hostel and he gets greeted by, hey man, didn't you just check out? And Paxton's like, no, what the fuck? And the guy's like, hey man, chill out, vacation. Let me check you into a new room. And then he checks into the new hostel and then he goes upstairs and he has a deja vu because he sees 2 more girls. They're like topless.
They did the same fucking thing.
Same thing. They're like putting their shirt on, they're topless. They're like, hey, you want to come to the spa?
Hey, you want to come?
And then Paxton has to walk around. He has to find Josh, who's now also missing. And the street kids run by and they steal Paxton's phone. And then he chases a kid and he starts choking that dude out.
Choking the fuck out of him.
Like he was about to kill that kid. He pretty much is like choking him until he decides, nah, I'm not going to kill a kid today.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, I get it, dude. He's fucking like, he's pissed. Like he's out here with this bullshit. These kids keep trying to rob him. Both of his friends disappear. Everyone's acting fucking real creepy.
He just had the weird, he's finally realizing how fucking weird the whole thing is with
and
that
he's in a
deja
foreign
vu
country
shit.
too. Like honestly, that's like a big fear of mine. Like being somewhere that I'm not familiar with and then losing my only lifeline.
Yeah.
Because like it's terrifying that like, you know, phones really
and have
do
you
kind of
tried,
control your life
have
like
you
that.
ever tried using a phone from like somewhere else?
Oh yeah.
I don't fucking understand it. Like that shit's hard. I would not know what the fuck to do. I would freak the fuck out.
Yeah, just be very confused. And then everyone around here just seems like they're gonna murder you. So it's like, yeah, you know what? I might have to choke a kid if they steal my phone at this point. Might have to choke a kid. I don't know. So now he just kind of walks around pissed for a little while. He's like, fuck, now I don't have a phone. But then he sees Natasha once more, and he demands that she takes him over to the art exhibit, as she calls it.
Yeah, they told me to tell you. They're at the art exhibit.
And she's just looking at this other skeevy, like, long-haired guy, and they both look like they're on heroin.
They're all fucked. Natasha and who was the other girl? Svetlana? Or am I?
Yes.
Okay.
It was actually.
I'm like shameless.
I don't think her name was Natasha. Actually, I kept calling her that. I think
Natalia.
It was like Natalia and Svetlana.
Yeah.
Bro, this has to be a take everyone has. Svetlana's the hottest name in the world, right?
You think so?
I think it might be, dude. There's just something about like. Do you
I
remember?
don't think
do
it's
you
the
remember?
hottest.
Okay, hold on. Let me throw something out real quick before
What?
you make that statement. Svetlana from Shameless.
No, yeah, that's why.
Like, bro, like a
the
hot
name
girl with the
itself-
name Svetlana.
There it
yeah,
is.
but I feel like I've never seen a Svetlana that doesn't look like banging as all hell.
That's true.
I mean, like, to be fair, I mean, I do think that Natalia was better looking than Svetlana in this, but Svetlana was still hot as fuck.
Not in a weird way.
Uh-huh.
Because I feel bad because of everything that's happening with Millie Bobby Brown. Natalia looks like a adult version of Millie.
Wait, what's happening with Millie?
She was groomed. She
yeah.
was
Well,
dating that 20-year-old when she was like 16, and they lived together.
Oh.
And he went on live and like talked about how like really bad stuff.
Like what?
He was like, because I think his friend was like, oh, something about her sucking. And he's like, yeah, dude.
Yeah, let's not. Yeah, let's
exactly.
not.
I didn't
That's
want to
too
go
much.
there.
That's gross.
Exactly.
That's really gross.
Sorry, I mentioned that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
warning.
I didn't know that was
I
a
should
thing.
have done a trigger warning.
See, the grooming
that,
thing like makes sense because I've seen her Instagram too, and it's literally always like thirsty ass old dudes being like, "Oh, you're so hot, this, that, blah, blah." I'm like, bro, that's a child.
Yeah,
like, that is
she's
a fucking
whole
child.
ass fucking child. That's why
And
I
it
felt
sucks-
bad bringing her up in general. But yeah, Natalia looks like an adult version. They look exactly the same. It's crazy.
I don't know if I caught that. I'd have to see them next to each other. I'll look it up real quick
I
right now.
didn't catch it until it shows her without her makeup, like when when they're in that bar and like they're.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me look her up right now. Millie Bobby Brown. Yeah, I've definitely never know. Okay, so is there a certain picture I should go to, like maybe like this or something? Maybe.
I don't know.
Oh shit! Oh no, you're right.
I can't see.
No, you're very right. That looks a lot like her.
Yeah.
That looks like.
I don't even know why I said
lot
not in
like
a
her.
weird way, just because I feel bad.
Yeah, whatever you say.
I don't know. I just felt bad bringing her up now.
No, yeah, dude, they look a lot alike.
Don't they? And I think it's because like
Yeah, they
in the
definitely do.
movie she's like naked and stuff, and I'm like I don't.
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
so you just like kind of feel bad like comparing to her and that. But I mean, like we're not talking about like she looks like her like when she's we're saying just in general, just like physical appearance, like her face and stuff. What blah blah blah.
Yeah, she has
Wow.
the same exact face as her. I'm like, yo, what?
Yeah, I definitely didn't catch that whatsoever. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's walking around pissed. He goes to the art exhibit, and then he walks right into the room where Josh is being dissected like a high school science project. Like he looks like a cut open frog.
Like what the fuck was that?
I really do love that scene. I love any time that you see like a person being dissected
I
like
love
something
that
like that
so
shit's cool as fuck. It's like remember in Midsummer when you see that guy at the very end and he's like torn all the pieces and like all of his insides are out and stuff.
I love that shit.
Anything like that where like there's little pins like holding someone's skin down and stuff. I'm like that's crazy. Like that's some wild ass shit to think about. So Paxton gets tossed into a room for some good old torture, and he starts pleading for his life. This isn't very good for him, though, because he gets ball gagged, and then this is when he gets a gun point at his head in response. So he's really down bad. And the guy walks off for a second, and he's being, like, really, like, this guy almost looks like this was, like, his first time. Like, he's being really nervous and, like, shaky.
That's what I thought at first, right? But I think I could be completely wrong. I think the way they were like portraying him is like this guy's full on psycho and like he's
I think so.
Complete psycho. And when he like when he kills people, how he goes
yeah.
I think
he's getting that thrill.
Yeah, I don't think it was his first time. I think that's just how he fucking acts when he kills people.
Yeah, it's to like prolong it, make it all weird and like ritually and blah blah blah.
Fucking weird.
So the guy walks off, and then he comes back with an entire chainsaw, which causes Paxton to just start puking his ball but gag immediately. Which, again, like, I will agree with you on the puke thing. Like, that's a good timing. Like, you see someone coming at you with a chainsaw, and it's like, oh, yeah, fuck this.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good time. And that makes the torture guy start to slip up, like, quite literally. Like, the slip up, first, he cuts off half of Paxton's hand, and he doesn't notice that he also cuts the handcuffs off when he accidentally, because he kind of, like, I don't think he even meant to cut him. He just kind of, like, falls around.
Yeah, no, that wasn't supposed to happen, I think.
And then not only that, he slips in Paxton's blood and puke, and then he falls over
That
and he
was
drops the
so
chainsaw
funny.
on his leg. Like, it was just the goofiest shit ever. I was like, you fucking idiot.
It's like fucking banana peel slip.
Oh, literally. He slipped over that blood and puke like it was a banana peel, 100%. That's the best comparison. And then Paxton grabs a gun, shoots him in the head. Bam.
Amazing.
Done. And then he also makes some pretty smart decisions because he knows someone's going to head in the room to try to take him out. So he pretends that he's still, like, bound in the torture chair, which I think was kind of stupid because the other guy saw the dude dead on the floor first and then still walked at him. I'm like, you're fucking dumb. Obviously, he's faking that. But, they're just kind of stupid security guards, so what do you expect?
Watching porn.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, it was funny. He was just watching a bunch of porn in the other room. And then, yeah, the guy walks in the room, security dude, shoots him in the head. Bam, you done, kid.
That was really cool.
And after that, he hides under a few dead bodies. One of those, that Japanese chick in the body cart.
I believe so. I think so. If I remember correctly.
It would make sense.
Yeah.
It would make sense. I'm pretty sure. And then he ends up in a room with the butcher, who easily has, like, the biggest back I've ever seen in my life. That dude's back was thick, dude. That dude had a huge back. Like, that shit was bussin'. That dude's arch, he was arch, like, standing up straight.
Fucking Caleb, where the fuck do you get that shit from?
Dude, he had a big back. Like, he had the devil's arch, without even bending over.
I've never looked at someone and thought, damn, that's a big back.
Oh, boy, that back was fucking thick. That boy was bussin'. That boy was bussin', period.
Damn, nice back. That's a big back.
It's also fun to know that Paxton kept his fingers to reattach them later on. And I feel like...
They're not getting reattached.
No, I feel like there is. Like, he didn't get out there too fast. It's possible, but...
No.
Maybe. Okay, look, I'm not going to say yes. I'm just going to say maybe. But what I think is really stupid is, like, if you're going to keep your fingers to get, like, reattached, hold on to them.
Yeah.
Don't
Put
drop
them in your
them.
pocket.
I think they were, but somehow they fell out. I'm like, how does not even just one finger fall out? Both of them? That's a lot, man.
Yeah.
That's a tall order. But yeah, he dropped both of them, and then he's like, all right, I got to act fast to save my fingers. So he grabs someone else's clothes first he goes in there and, he kills the guy, kills the butcher, runs off, grabs his fingers. And then Paxton ends up grabbing someone else's clothes. Oh, did you have something?
Can we talk about how cool that scene was, though, when the butcher is just, like, chopping up fucking bodies? That shit was weird.
Yeah, he had a big back.
The big back?
He had a very big back.
I thought that was so... I don't know. Neat little scene.
Yeah, and he's taking him over to like a Bernie thing.
Bernie.
The thing where you burn bodies.
Oh. I thought like Bernie Sanders.
What's that called again?
Like,
Burning Man. The burning chamber.
It starts with a C.
Combustion.
Combust. He took him to the big old combust.
Something's about to bust. Okay, so anyway.
Alright, go on.
Yeah, so Paxton ended up grabbing someone else's clothes so he can fit in with all the murder dudes. And he ends up in really just the worst conversation ever. It's like when
worst.
It's like when you're at like a bar
my
or
God.
Remember that time that we went to like a gas station to like pick up some drinks and that guy just started talking to me about football? Like this conversation is just as deplorable as that. Like I
Can't even get away from it.
Bro, like I know this is definitely like worse, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Because he's saying worse things, but like this is on par with talking about football to me. Like this is just the most asinine conversation in the world.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
It's so like this guy's just like, hey dude, so I'm gonna go do my first murder. How do you feel? I'm getting on a little bit on edge and I want to do this murder. And like, what do you think I should do? Should I shoot this guy?
So
No, maybe I shouldn't. Oh, I should shoot him, huh? Did you shoot him? He's like, make it slow. He's like, nah, fuck that. And then he like throws his gun down and he's like, I want to go fucking destroy this person, make $50,000 off of this little chick.
He's so gross. He's like, can I see your tattoo? Let me see yours. Come on, man. Come on.
And it's so weird too, because I think about like, okay, I know that this is like a crazy guy, I'm sure he's like a big tough dude, blah blah blah, all that, but I'm like, in context of what he's doing, like he's talking to another guy that is assumably also a murderer that's been doing this longer than him, because he's asking him questions about it, saying it's his first or whatever, blah blah blah. So like, wouldn't you not want to piss off that guy and not be all like hostile toward him? Because what if this guy's crazier than you and he just fucking murders you right then and there?
He's fucking unaware.
He's completely unaware. This guy has no idea what's going on around him.
He's so...
Because if I was there, like, even if I'm a crazy person or whatnot, I'd be like, all right, I'm here with other crazy people that could literally, like, we're literally in a murder house where people can shoot things and no one on the outside will pay attention. So, literally, this could be a situation where an employee gets mad, another employee shoots him, and the boss is going to be like, all right, well, guess you guys had a spat.
You
Whatever,
know what
hire
he
a new guy.
reminds me of? Like, those people that do something... I lost my train of thought.
Dude, I love those people that do something.
What was I saying?
People do things.
People that do things, no. Like when you go somewhere and you know it's someone's first time doing that thing or whatever, and they're like way too over, like, yeah, bro, and then I did this, and then I was like, and they don't know how to stop, and you're like, dude,
bro, chill the fuck out. I've been doing this. Well, like, he hasn't been doing this, but like,
And it's like in anything. It could be literally anything. There's always that one person that's just like, oh yeah, and then.
Well, it's like when you smoke weed for the first time in like high school, and then you like decide you're gonna keep smoking weed, and you're like, oh fuck yeah, dude, weed, dude, like this is fucking awesome. You wanna go smoke, dude?
Yeah,
Remember this
that makes
time that I just
sense.
smoked like, dude, and you start like having conversation like, dude, we smoked a fucking,
No,
we
yeah,
smoked
yeah.
3 grams the other day, and
That's
it was
very
freaking
accurate.
swick, dude. And then you
Yeah.
grow up and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking
Yeah,
that's
that's
cringe. That's
Yeah.
too much. Like
That's-
that's what this guy's being. He's just being cringe as fuck.
Yeah, fucking cringy ass man.
So the guy goes on and on about killing, and then he leaves his gun there. So now Paxton is like, all right, cool, I got a gun now. So he runs off. He's about to leave after he finds a car, but he can hear the nice Japanese woman he met earlier getting destroyed in the other room. It made me sad because I was like, damn, if he left a few minutes earlier and decided to help her before, she wouldn't have got destroyed.
I know.
She had a bad
felt
time.
So bad for her.
Yeah, I definitely felt like
What the-
very bad for her, like over anyone else in the movie.
But that shit actually gave me so much anxiety when he was like ready to go. He could have left. That was his moment.
And then he turns around.
And he turns back around because, like, dude, you're really risking getting fucking murdered right
At first,
now.
I'm just like, fuck whoever's in there. But then when I saw that it was her, I'm like, oh no, go save her.
Exactly.
I'm like, go save her.
You can't even be mad at him for doing that.
Yeah,
Normally, if it was some other stupid fucking, I'd be like, bro, you're stupid.
Exactly, but I liked her. I was like, please go
Yeah,
save
poor
her. Like, she's so
baby.
innocent.
I know. She was so sad about her friend missing. Ugh.
And this scene almost pisses me off in the same way that that movie Becky with Kevin James pissed me off. I think I told you about that one, right? That indie movie with Kevin James, the dude from fucking King of Queens, and like he's fucking Paul Blart Mall Cop and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's like in that. I think I told you about that, right? That indie movie with that like little blonde girl.
I don't think you did.
I think you'll know once I tell you a little bit about it right now if I've told you or not.
Okay.
It kind of pissed me off because it didn't, because it's a little more understandable, but like, you know, the girl was getting destroyed with a blowtorch and other tools, and then her entire eyeball is hanging out and like her whole face is fucked up. So she kind of looks like a Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Who?
The Japanese chick, because her eye is all the eye burn. It's
Oh!
very Zuko.
Oh my gosh. Wait, can we talk about why the fuck? I didn't get why he cut her eye off.
He's torturing her, but I don't know. It just seemed like weird, like the burn and everything. Like it looked really like cool and like good, I guess, but I also don't know how accurate it was. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seemed weird. I feel like it would have been way more fucked up. It was kind of weird. So her eyeball's hanging out of the socket, and then naturally they both freak out. But then Paxton cuts her eyeball out.
I don't know why that happened.
Yeah, but I mean, this one I understand a little more because, like, okay, in Becky, Kevin James' eyeball pops out like that and it's hanging out, and then instead of saving it or something, like, because he's like, oh, we're doing some shit right now, like, we gotta finish this job, so he just cuts out his eyeball. And I'm like, that's fucking stupid, because I feel like he might have been able to save that eye,
Yeah.
because it just popped out, like, it wasn't like destroyed or anything, like his
Okay.
actual eyeball wasn't fucked up. So I was
Yeah.
like, I feel like he could have saved that, and it's really stupid that he was just like, all right, this one moment, fuck this, I'm cutting my eye out, like, instead of saving it later for the rest of his life, you know, assuming that he would live. So I thought that was really stupid. This one I'm more okay with, because I'm like,
It's fucked.
there was a blowtorch on her eye,
Yeah,
like all this.
it's
I'm like, I don't
fucked.
think that thing's coming back.
No.
You're never seeing out of that again.
Maybe because it was so scary that her eye was out that he was like, I'm just cut it off.
Yeah, and I
like,
think he was just like, it seemed like it wasn't important at the time, which was the only thing that kind of made me mad, because I was like, you got to just get out of there right now. Like, worry about cutting off the eye or whatever later. Like, I know it's fucked up and it's crazy, but like, that. And I also was like worried about like it bleeding out and like her just dying from
yeah,
cutting
that's
it
what
off
I
or
was
something.
worried about. Like, what?
But
Why would you risk that?
I don't know the math of this or the science of this or whatever, you know. But to be fair, her eye was blowtorched. So I do think that, like, you know, maybe it is accurate that, like, because he cuts it off and it just starts pussing instead of bleeding.
That was so
And, you know, I would
gross.
say, like, my first instinct was, like, okay, fuck that. Like, I think she dies.
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, her eye did get blowtorched, so it might have cauterized the wound pretty much. So maybe when he cut it off, like, it's already so cauterized that just some pus or something came out. Like, maybe, like, all the blood, like, fucking vessels
Yeah,
below
yeah.
already, like, covered up. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know all the specifics of that. If anyone does, it'd be cool to know. But
Yes.
yeah, so that kind of pissed me off, but not much.
That
so
was really gross, though.
It was
That was
disgusting.
really gross.
And then Paxton sees Natasha and Alex and
Natalia.
Natalia.
We keep calling her Natasha.
Alex and Svetlana.
Alex is who? Oh, the guy.
He's the guy
Yeah.
that was like, "Hey, these girls are over here, blah blah blah," in Slovakia.
Mm-hmm.
So he sees all of them at the like end of a street, like he's going through a street at the end of a hall, and then he sees them at the end. And we actually read something that I didn't realize at first, but
I
this is
didn't
kind of
realize
like an
either.
homage to Pulp Fiction when Bruce Willis sees vague, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I can't remember. But when he sees him like at that intersection when he's sitting at the red light and then he goes and like fucking drives at him, it was just like that. It was like a little homage to that. I thought that was pretty cool. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
I did think that looked like familiar. I was like, this seems like kind of like something, but I couldn't place it. When I saw it, I was like, oh.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, it makes sense though.
Yeah.
So then he runs them over, and then it was pretty cool because he runs over Natasha, and she survives. Like Svilana smacks her head on the ground immediately and gets fucked.
Yeah, she's fucked.
And then Natalia is still alive, but then he drives back around and fucking destroys her, crushes her head with a tire. And I think we don't see for sure if Alex dies, but I think just in this terms of like, you know, he's taking out the people that fucked him over, I just want to assume that he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
Like we saw for sure this Svilana did because she smashed her head, and we saw for sure that Natalia did because he ran over her. But Alex, to be fair, if I'm judging off of just what I saw, I don't think he died. But I think it's safe to assume that the implication is that he killed all three of them.
I agree.
So I'm going to go ahead and just count it as it because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that, like, personally, I do not think he died. But anyway, Paxton also paid off the street kids with candy to murder the dungeon dudes.
Is that what he did?
Yes.
On purpose? Or did they just fucking see the...
Nope, he did, because the whole thing before, they always had, like, a bag of candy, and they would give them a few pieces to, like, pay them off, but this time he has all the kids next to him, and he looks at the entire bag of candy and then just goes away, so it's, like, implied that he gave them the whole bag so that he could actually go a step farther. It wasn't just, like, a leave me alone thing. It was like, I'm going to give you this extra candy, but you got to do something for me.
Oh,
so he was basically like, when these dudes drive by, fucking murder them. And they do. They literally, like, start throwing rocks at them and shit. They don't know what to do because there's, like, 30 kids.
The little kid just going at him with the fucking, what was it, a bat?
Yeah, well, he goes over, they start beating the car with a bat, and then it cuts over, and you literally just see one kid with a fucking brick just smashing this fucking guy's head in, like, smashing his forehead, and kills him.
I'm so dumb.
These 7-year-old kids murdered that, two guys.
I'm not dumb, but I thought that because they're bad guys, like, it was just a known thing, like, these guys fucking suck. So I thought that because they saw them, like, oh yeah, fuck them.
No, I think naturally they would leave them alone because they don't watch shit with
them.
them.
Exactly. Yeah. That's, I'm like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, they definitely got paid off. So then something just really annoying happens, and what happens is that Paxton pulls up to a police checkpoint, and he starts turning around. That isn't stupid. That's understandable. But what is fucking really dumb is that the fact that one of the police officers saw him trying to reverse out. So he starts walking to the car, and you can clearly see, like, the police officer doesn't turn at any point. He doesn't look away. He's looking right at the car, and he walks over to it, and then once he gets to the car, they're gone. They're out of the car, and they ran away, and I'm like...
I didn't see that.
No, yeah. Did you see the checkpoint thing?
Yeah, I saw the checkpoint when they're beating up that guy.
And did you see the cop looking at them?
No.
Oh, okay, well, he literally looks at them, walks straight over to them, does not look left, does not look right, doesn't look anywhere, is looking dead at them, and then somehow when he gets to the car, all of a sudden, like, it pans back to the car, because you just see... The thing that pisses me off is you only see the perspective of him, so you literally see that he did not turn at all. But then once you get to the car, they're just gone. I'm like, so you're telling me he was staring at them and he somehow doesn't notice them run away and they completely get away and they're so far that he doesn't chase them? No, because it shows when he's
trying to get out.
No, I know it shows when he's trying to get out. No, I know,
that's why it's funny that he's just like...
That's why I'm like, it's fucking stupid. Like, you know that he's like trying to figure out something, like he's either trying to drive away or get out, but I'm like, you see that the cop is staring at him. Like, there's no way he could have left.
That is so funny.
So it was just really fucking dumb.
So
we're nearing the end now, and Paxton's just trying to find a way to leave at this point. He's trying to get around the dungeon dudes at the train station, but then Kana sees her reflection in a mirror and decides to leave out of the way, or she tries to peace out.
Oh, yeah.
By way of the train.
Which, this is fucked up.
And Kana is the Japanese girl with the eye hanging
out. It was super fucked up, but when I saw her eye and everything, like when she was fucked and he was saving her, I was like, dude, if that were me...
Dead.
I would want to die, but then I was saying in my head, like, okay, I wouldn't want to be saved, but I much rather have got out of there because who knows what else he would have done.
Yeah, I would have told him to kill me right then and there. I'd be like, you have a gun, shoot me.
Yeah, but I know as soon as I got out of there and he saved me, I would fucking off myself.
Well, it's like the energy like from last week, like Green Inferno, when that guy has all the ants all over him and he's all fucked up. He's like, just kill me. Like, that's me. Yeah. That's me right there. Just take me out. I'm fucking done.
There's no fucking way I'm living with this.
I'm done. I'm not dealing with that. So the kill is really awesome, too, because, like, when she jumps in the train, the blood splatters a bunch of old people, which is always just fun.
Yes.
I love it when old people, like, just have traumatic experiences. It's so funny.
They're like, I'm too old for this shit.
It's so funny because they get so scared and uncomfortable. I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. So now we're right at the end, and our main guy, Paxton, hears the fruity little white man trying to take someone in the back of the bus, or on the train, because he gets on the train.
Oh, he's hearing him again with that same fucking conversation about, oh, I used my fingers.
Yep. because the security guys saw Kana explode, so they were like, all right, I think they just assumed both of them exploded or something, because there was a lot of blood and guts everywhere. They're
I
like,
think they were like, yeah, this is legit.
They're like, yeah, I know that no one else would have exploded in a train right now, so I think we're good. We can go home. So he starts following him after the train stops, and he ends up following the dude straight to the shitter. And then he cuts off the same 2 fingers that were cut off of him. And then he gives the dude a swirly, which is pretty funny.
Amazing.
And then he slits his throat.
That was the best.
But this does bring me to my closing discussion question.
Yes.
Is it wrong to kill a man while he's taking a shit?
Not when it's that man.
That's the only thing. Like, normally I'd say yes, don't kill someone while they're shitting. That's rude. But the guy deserved it.
Oh, yeah.
He's a dick.
I feel like that was the best choice, because now you're embarrassed because you're in the shitter.
Exactly. Anyone who eats dry salad, I think you can kill them on the shitter.
Only because of the dry salad.
Yeah, that's my reasoning.
Not because he gropes people or like murders them or whatever, you know?
So, that was Hostel from 2004. We had... Okay, so I'm going to say I had 10 kills, but I do not think I counted that Japanese girl that died off screen. But I'm going to go ahead and say, in retrospect, I'm counting her. And I also put, like, I would say 9 before that. So I'm going to say that's 10 right off there, including her. If you want to include Alex, that's 11. If you don't, then it's 10. I would say that I think he died. Well, again, I don't think he died, but I am going to count on the kill count. I'm going to say 11.
11?
Yeah, I'm going to say 11 kills. Seems fair. Not mean?
Fair.
Not mean?
Fair.
Boob count, though, that's higher.
What did you count?
18.
18.
18 pairs of breasts from different women. Or at least it might have been, there could have been a few of the same woman in there, but different screen time scenes, like different scenes where I saw women that if I saw that they were the same, like for sure, then I didn't count them twice. But like, there was a few that flashed by a few times, and they weren't like main characters, so it could have been the same a few times. But
counting the brothel, is that what it's called?
Yes.
It was only one girl in there, huh? That had her titties out. Actually.
You mean like when they go in the brothel? Yeah. Only one chick in there. There was like nothing, because all the girls on the outside had tops on.
Yeah.
They weren't naked until you got inside. And I think you only saw one naked chick in there. Yeah. So yeah, and there was only like 5 chicks in the spa, but yeah, 18 boobs.
That's a lot of fucking boobs.
And now we got the questions of the episode. Would we recommend this from Maria?
Yeah.
I would recommend it. I would say at least watch it. I mean, if you're not someone that likes, torture porn, like if you're not like a fan of like Saw and like, just things that are just like only like blood and kills and blah, blah, then you might not like it. But if you're into that stuff, if you're into like fucked up stuff, it's a good watch. It's a pretty good watch.
I normally hate fucking raunchy ass movies. I'm not gonna lie. Like the sex gets a little boring. Not like too much sex. There is such thing as too much sex for me.
I disagree.
I know.
I differ.
Which there's people that, love that. But I get...
Actually, I am going to take that back because... Okay, I'm more okay with this because I feel like there wasn't a lot of sex in this. It was more just boobs. When it is too much sex, then there are movies that just feel like porn at that point.
Well,
you're like, okay, I'm just watching
I guess
porn.
with sex, I mean, like, everything's so sexualized.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, the girls.
Okay,
it gets annoying hearing, a raunchy-ass movie, but this one's a good one.
And in the terms of it, it kind of like you couldn't do it any other way. I mean,
yeah,
it makes sense.
Yeah,
like, that's the story
it
they were
had to
telling.
be there exactly.
It's a sex-driven story,
exactly. Really. That's why this one, I think, if you normally don't like movies like that, I think this one you'd be okay with.
Yeah, it's not too bad. And what would we rate this, Maria, out of 5?
I'm gonna give it a 4.5 because I really I like this movie a lot.
Wow, you really like this?
Yeah, I like this movie.
I'm a little lower than you. I'd give it a 3.5. The first few times I watched it, I gave it a 3. I liked it a little more this time. I do think what I've noticed about it is that after watching it like 3 times, it's a really easy movie to watch. Like it's it never really drags. Like even when like things get like a little boring, it's never slow. I
agree.
I feel like I watched it in like 30 minutes or something. Like it's really easy to watch. It's a fun watch. It's fairly entertaining. I do think that there's some stuff that's just like kind of just not that interesting or like doesn't really matter. And I think for something that is so like big on like this is known as just like one of those torture porn movies, blah blah blah, I think that there's not enough torture, to be fair. Like I think the scenes that have torture and whatnot, they're really fucking good, really bloody, really crazy. But I feel like for a movie like this, it would have been cool if there was more. And I feel like that's the opposite argument that most people have.
That's why there's Hostel 2
that's true.
and 3.
Is there a third?
I think so.
Oh, I thought that was just 2. You might be right.
I think there's 3.
But yeah, I think that's the opposite argument that most people have. I think most people, from what I've heard, say that it's like too gory and it could have like gone down on it. But I don't know. I feel like, yeah, no, I feel like there's not enough. I feel like there's only like 3 really good gory
No,
stuff.
I agree with you because the
and there's only 2
torture
Hostels. There's no third.
What?
Yeah, there's just 2 of them.
Bullshit.
Yeah, the second came out in
Bull
2007,
crap.
and that was it. That's what I thought. I only remember seeing 2.
No.
Yeah, there's only 2 of them.
No.
Why'd you think there was
Caleb,
3?
No.
I'm on it right now. I mean, we're looking at it.
What?
Yeah, dude. There's only 2 of those
Fucking
things.
tell us if you have a very clear memory of Hostel 3.
I have no memory
Thank
of Hostel
you.
3. I don't have that.
I fucking do.
No, I don't. I remember seeing 2. I never thought there was a third.
What? No.
Yeah, there's no 3. Sorry.
Clearly, but
Well, here we are.
that's insane. Well, anyways, there's Hostel 2, only 2, but the third one's hiding somewhere. Oh no.
Well, you know, it's a pretty good movie. I'd say
No,
go
yeah,
watch it.
it's a really good movie. I like them a lot. Like both.
So let's move on to the Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Let's move on.
We have Fruity White Guy,
Oh God.
Natalia, and me. Usually I wouldn't put a beautiful person in, but she is a terrible person, so I figured it'd be fine. Give you a little curveball in there.
I'd kill the white man. I'd fuck Natalia.
Yep.
And again, marry Caleb as a friendship to get my green card.
To be fair, though, that's really like an easy one because, of course, you're going to kill him. Natasha might be crazy, but if you're just going to fuck her, then whatever.
I have my green card. I was just kidding. I barely... Okay. I'm not making a joke. I know. I'm making a joke, but it's not a joke. But it is a joke.
No, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke.
It's a joke, guys. It's a joke. And that's Hostel from 2004.
Yeah! Woo!
Thank you again for being on the show, Maria. Always a wonderful time.
It's the best.
So, guys, if you enjoy the show, go ahead and check out all of the stuff. You can check out bonus episodes, which, by the way, there's a bunch. My good buddy James from I'll Suck Your Blood and from Night Shift Video, his show. And also, as you probably know, a frequent guest on Horror Soup. He just came down to California, so did our buddy Devonte, who's also been on the show before.
Nice.
And we recorded some stuff. We did like a watch along on this vampire thing. We have a really fun conversation about like high school science projects, like dissecting frogs and all that. And our buddy talks about how his middle school was really poor and gave him raw chicken legs to dissect.
What?
So yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a it doesn't sound real, but unfortunately it is. And
they didn't
that's
get
on
smelly cow eyeballs.
And yeah, that's on Patreon right now. That's a watch along. Buckley's also there for that one. There's going to be an Amityville that involves me, Kim, James, Devonte, and Buckley.
Oh, that sounds fun.
That will be the uncensored full video version. Will be on Patreon. There is also the first ever car cast. We did a podcast in a moving vehicle, and it's the first ever one. That'll be on the 1st of next month. And there's also some little Twilight Zone stuff. And yeah, me and James did some cool stuff out here. And there might be another. We also recorded probably our most problematic episode ever, and I'm still deciding what to do with that, but I think the uncensored version will go on Patreon.
Problematic?
So that'll probably be there too. Yeah, we said a lot of fucked up shit in that one.
Man.
It was a pretty fucked up movie, and we kind of went off.
Oh, okay.
It's the one that I was telling you about, the blind guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had some talks about that one. So yeah, that's all on patreon.com/horrorsoup. You can also do what Mrs. Bethany did here, and you can pick a movie. That is a tier. That is something you can do. Send me to, and then yeah, all that stuff. And also my friend Bethany that picked this movie, she wanted me to shout out her friend Katrina, who she introduced to the show. So Katrina, thanks for listening to the show.
Thank
too,
you,
dude.
Katrina.
You have a cool friend. Thank you, Bethany, for picking another Eli Roth movie. It's good stuff. And check out the Instagram at Horror Soup if you want to follow us. That's where all of the main updates are. I pretty much only go on Instagram for all that stuff because I don't like using other social medias. Twitter is at Horror Soup Sucks. Letterboxd is at Horror Soup Caleb. You can email at horrorsoup@yahoo.com. And also subscribe on YouTube. Check out my other YouTube, All Bulls Welcome. Of course, subscribe to the Horror Soup YouTube. I don't usually do plugs this long, so I feel like I'm really going in town right now because I feel like I should probably plug things more. And of course, check out my other horror movie podcast. It is called Scream with an exclamation point. That is with Ash and Elena from Morbid a True Crime Podcast. And again, I'm just going to say it again, even though I already said it because no one does it. Go subscribe to All Bulls Welcome and check out Donkey Fellatio. Maria's on it all the time. Bree's on it. The gang is on it, dude. The gang is on it. And Maria, let's peace out, brother.
Bye.
Bye.